financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is tax season part 2, my favorite topic. Good morning, Brian Small.
Good morning, Ken.
Jeffrey Linden.
Good morning, Ken. I'm dumbfounded by the brevity and silence that we just experienced.
My compliments to you, Brian. This is the first time in 150 shows that you just said good morning. Good morning, Jim Simasco.
Happy to be here. Good morning back.
Is there a reason why you did that?
It's
Or
taxes.
has it have something to do with the previous show?
It chills his blood, the topic.
Tax season. Why is it tax season part 2? What's the second part? Why is this first part second part?
The tax man cometh again.
It's extension season. We're filing.
Are we talking about
those-
the October 15th deadline?
That's what I'm talking about.
And the fact that the corporate,
Have you already
deadline.
filed your return?
I filed my return in February.
Have you filed your return?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I filed mine as well.
Not by April 15th, but
But when I was younger, I never ever filed until October 15th because I was always, and I was delaying payment until then as well.
we
But
still have to pay the tax to
You still have to pay
avoid
the interest.
yeah.
You end up paying the interest if you're filing on October 15th. But
Right.
yeah, but a lot of people
And a penalty if you didn't pay
But
the
you
whole
also have the
liability.
situation where you get K1s and you have
They're late.
income and they're
Yeah.
late getting to you, and that causes the returns. But and sometimes it's the accountant is so jammed up he can't get the return done by April 15th anyway, and he says I have to put you on extension. But so this is the last date where you can file timely.
Correct.
Is the extension date. What happens if you don't file timely?
Penalties, interest, and then a cascade of other bad things if you continue that.
So an unfiled return, as of April 15th, starts to accrue a penalty unless you filed an extension.
If you don't file, it is 1, a crime if you're required to file. 2, you get a non-filing penalty of 5% per month for every month that you haven't filed, which gets capped at 25%.
So instantly in 5 months you've
Yeah,
increased
but
your
we've
tax
never had, in all the
25%.
years
But
we've done
if
this,
you
we've never had an unfiled return that's gotten their stuff together within 5 months.
Because in fact they've never even come into us
Until
until
way
it's
after.
after 5
So
months.
here's a question. So you file an extension.
Yeah.
It expires on October the 15th. You don't file your return. Does the 5% start from October 15th and then
Or does it go back
or
to
does it go
April
back to April 15th? In other words, is it November 15th 5% is accrued?
It's an interesting question because we've never really had
to
address it because nobody's ever come in within 5 months of October 15th.
Right.
But the nice thing about that question is under the modern day Google search engines of a computer, if you just turn to your computer and ask that question, you'll get an AI response.
You will.
Probably.
Do you even use Google anymore? I use AI most of the time.
Well, Google has
Google-
AI built
Google has
in.
AI, but I
AI.
like to go to
What do you
Chat.
go to?
I use ChatGPT an awful lot.
Just for normal searches like what
Yep.
was how old is Sergei Fedorov,
I don't know that I would ever make that search.
or how old is I'm always doing searches like if my wife and I are sitting watching TV and we see a tennis, so how old is Djokovic, and I just pick up my phone and I go to Google and I ask, or Siri, and they answer. You go to
I guess
ChatGPT
I use
for that.
ChatGPT an awful lot for things these days. Anyway, back to the tax problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, if if you don't file, you're going to get the penalty. We've never had a case where we've had to actually fight
Yeah.
over the
and the big
few
point
months
is
dispute.
it's 25%.
Right.
So if
But-
your
but-
tax liability is $10,000,
It's now
you've made it 12,500.
But you know,
plus interest on everything. You
I've
get
heard-
interest on the tax you owe and the penalty.
but I've heard that, you know, since there's been so many layoffs at the IRS, they're not able to come after me anymore. And if I don't file, how are they ever going to find me?
Wait.
The
Have you heard that?
The computers aren't laid
Did,
off.
did you get that from ChatGPT?
No,
Where
I
did
got,
you hear
I
that
got that from, well, I heard that from, so, you know, National Enquirer. I mean,
More letters in the
And
tens of
Jim's
thousands.
comment is computers not sleeping.
Jim's absolutely right. More letters in this last season. More letters went out while the IRS and the general budget was cut by the current administration than in any previous year between
think about-
January and now.
Think about the current
Because of the
administration.
computer.
There's this conundrum. They're slashing government workers, creating chaos with the IRS, no question about it. But look how hardened they are when it comes to collecting money. Examples. If you were getting incorrectly being overpaid by Social Security, they're taking that money back instantly at 100% rate until you've paid the money back.
Right.
If you are defaulted on your student loans, they're coming after you instantly.
Chapter 13 can help with all of that, just so everybody knows.
Well, and
So
the
then
new
go
change
right
that
thing.
everybody's Social Security is going to be electronic now is going to facilitate that because they'll just suck the money back.
Yeah, well, they're getting rid of the hard checks to those the
Right.
5% or so that still wanted the hard checks.
But more importantly, they're getting your banking, routing, and account numbers to facilitate that, which means they can pull that money back.
Yeah. I mean, but
They know everything.
the vast majority of people do it on electronic deposit anyway.
Right.
I mean, I don't really fault the government for that. But the whole point is that the
Well,
idea.
if you paid somebody some money, that if you overpaid somebody, and you'd want your money back too.
Yeah, I mean, there is that point that it's a combination of things. If the government's overpaying you on Social Security and you know it, and you're not doing anything about it, you're saying, "Oh, it's just free money, I'm taking it," and then they catch you and they come back and they want the money back. You don't really have a lot of sympathy.
You know
Right.
where that actual
To say you
problem
should pay it
occurs a
back.
lot too?
But sometimes you don't really even realize
Is
it.
people who retired early, took their Social Security at 62, and then make more than the allowed amount of money. So for every dollar you make in excess right now of about $24,000
So
a
the benefits don't get
year,
reduced?
the government takes back 50 cents.
Let's take a break.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
If your loved one is struggling with age-related issues, let our family help your family. Call Samasco Law now. We're family-owned and growing. Meet Joe Frizard and Kelsey Samasco, our newest superstars. We'll handle your issues with care, compassion, and dedication. At Samasco Law, we'll leave no stone unturned until your family is protected for the long term. We'll walk together. That's what families do. Samasco Law. Protect what matters.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so go with what you were just saying. So painting the scene. So you retired early at 62, which means if you earn over X amount, your benefits are reduced.
So currently,
$1 for every $2 of earnings.
I believe that if you earn more than $24,000 in 2025, they will take back 50 cents for every dollar that they pay you above that $24,000.
Well, when do they take it back? How does that work?
Well, when you file your tax return.
So if we were just talking about the tax return, if I don't file my return until October 15th of 2025 for my 2024 income, all of 2025 I've been potentially getting paid Social Security more than I'm entitled to?
And so what they do is they will just literally turn off your Social Security until they recoup what you should be.
So do they let the people know that elect to take Social Security early that they should have a mechanism of going online and reducing their benefit automatically so that they don't get overpaid? I never heard of that.
I'm sure it's in the fine print.
It's one of those you're responsible to know the law types of things.
That's a massive problem.
Well,
I've never understood the idea of collecting at 62 personally because it's contrary to common sense if you're earning income.
Unless you're going to die early.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's isn't
if you know you're going to be gone by 64, you might as well take the money.
But the break-even point on that, I think, is like 82 years old, isn't it?
It depends. It's all different at what year you take it.
It's 82 going down though, because if you're earning income and then having the benefit reduced, that break even would be under the assumption that you're not earning any income over the ceiling amount.
A simple rule so people understand: if you take your Social Security early, before full retirement age, you can only earn $24,000 as of this year
before your benefits
start to get reduced. If you take it at full retirement age, you can earn as much as you want. In addition to that, and if you take it in the year before you're going to receive Social Security, there's a larger number that you're allowed to make. I think it's like $44,000.
Oh, the one
so in between 66
and if you wait
and 67.
To 70,
you get an extra 8% per year till you retire.
Which, in my view, if you're healthy and you're in good shape, because your break even there is probably around 85, 86. If you're healthy and you're particularly working and don't need the money, it has two benefits to you. It's a locked-in return of 8%, and it's really more because you also get the benefit of the inflation rider during those years that you're not collecting, so that when your benefits start, they're increased. And what it leaves you with is once you do pull the funds and start taking at 70, you have a much greater benefit.
Well, the benefit really isn't.
If you have a young wife who made less money than you,
she gets half of your benefit.
Well, half of your benefit, but when you die, she gets the higher of the two.
Yes.
So you can only take, regardless of whether you wait until you're 70 or not, your spouse, if he or she was supposed to receive less Social Security than you, they only get theirs or 1/2 of yours, whichever is greater, and they don't get, and their number
while you're alive.
Their number starts at full retirement age. It doesn't start.
But you know what?
I know that
only happens.
That's how my Social Security
But that only
works.
happens if you're reporting your income and you're paying your taxes.
That's a good point, because and I'm glad you're bringing that up. So many, the people that work for cash, the biggest problem.
Wait, can I ask a question? What's this?
I'm working for cash. I don't want to have any taxes withheld. I'm working for cash.
That's the banner.
Okay.
This is also, have you ever seen, like when they go
Shadow
Did you ever-
puppets?
Yes, when you were laying in bed trying to fall asleep. Okay. And you were 11 years old. So,
Or
but
4.
going back to what you're saying,
Right.
is if you live in that world of I only work for cash, and all of a sudden you're 66, you're 70, what's your Social Security benefit?
Less than $1,000, if at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah,
nothing.
It's nothing.
That is such. When you're 40, you don't think about it. When you're 50, you're really not thinking about it. You should. Because what do you think? At 40, oh, I'm not going to have to worry about it. When I'm 70, I'll have so much money to retire with, I'll be fine. That Social Security check is really important when you get to retirement age. Even if you have the 3-point retirement plan, that Social Security check is what takes care of your expenses.
If you're working for cash, you can't put the money in the bank because then the IRS will know that you're cheating too. And so many people think that
Yeah.
their retirement plan is their parents'
Well,
dime.
you can put the
Right.
money in the bank, but then you got to pay your taxes.
Right.
And then you got to pay self-employment. And the other thing that you don't realize, when you're working for cash and your employer's paying you, your employer's also complicit in not complying with the law. Your employer's obligated to pay the employer's share of the payroll taxes. That's 7.65% from him, 7.65% from you. You can go to your employer and say, hey, I don't want to work for cash, and you got to pay the payroll taxes.
The other thing is if they get hurt at work, they won't have
No
workers' comp.
Right.
Yeah, so those are big mistakes. Tax problems. What is the most common tax problem you see?
Not filed returns.
The not filed returns. Think about that. We already said you don't file the return, you're putting yourself in a 25% penalty. But there's more to that. You don't file the return for 2024. Then 2025 comes around and you're sitting there saying, I didn't file for 2024. I don't have the records together.
Well,
I haven't heard from anybody, and you don't file for 25.
Right. And then you get into the fallacy that, well, now if I file, I haven't filed for a year or two. If I file now, they're going to know I didn't file.
And I'm going to get in
and I'm
big
going to
trouble.
get hammered. Well, they know anyway.
We'll take a break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to announce THAV GROSS has opened a new office downriver in the Horizon building on Eureka Road. So now we're in Flint, downriver, and also our home office in Bingham Farms. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. You can do it by Zoom conference, in the office, any way that works best for you. Just call 888-235-HELP or go to the website, thavgross.com, to sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business law issues, elder law issues with Pat or Kelsey, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. Again, sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or just call 888-235-HELP. Also, if you go to the website, you'll see there's free reports. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Jeff Linden and myself. Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. And The Retiree's Guide to Social Security by Pat Samasco. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
The doctors ask if Dad's affairs are in order. Did Dad ever talk to you about what we should do in a situation like this?
Not a word.
What should we do?
We should have called Samasco.
Don't wait. All it takes is a quick call to Samasco Law or go online and fill out a request. We can get your needs and wishes set in stone so your family doesn't have to play a guessing game when the chips are down. Protect what matters. For power of attorney, call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
They know anyway.
So they know, who's they? They know anyway.
The IRS knows. The IRS, their computers, the AI, they know you haven't filed your returns. If you're getting one of your typical jobs, you're getting 1099s issued by your employer, you're getting W-2 forms, the IRS get those, so they know your income. What they don't know is if you're entitled to deductions greater than the standard deduction.
So they'll just file a return for you?
Eventually they'll file a return for you, and it will always be less favorable than if you filed
And that
your own.
return is called a substitute for return, and if you end up in that situation and you needed to file a bankruptcy to get rid of your income taxes that are owed, lo and behold, that tax is no longer dischargeable in bankruptcy because you never filed the return and the IRS did it for you.
Right.
Can I give you a visual on that? This is what happens when you're in that situation. You're laying in bed, you're trying to be sleeping, and your eyes are open. Why are your eyes open? The reason why your eyes are open is because you know you haven't filed the tax returns, and all of a sudden these thoughts are going in the back of your head are saying, I haven't filed the returns. What could happen? Is somebody going to come to my door with ID? Am I going to get in any kind of big trouble? What am I going to do? And all of a sudden, you start suffering from sleep deprivation because you haven't filed the tax returns. So what's the solution? Do you just do nothing, and then the following day, when you go to sleep at the end of the day, after you've worked all day, you've got the kids taken care of, you've cut the lawn, you've done whatever you had to do,
No.
you go to sleep, and your eyes are open again. There's a simple solution. What's the solution?
You call us. You get your returns prepared and filed, and we figure out how to work to manage the debt to make it manageable, or get rid of it even sometimes. Sometimes you can eliminate it.
The first problem of filing the returns is such an easy problem to solve. How are we going to solve the problem? We're going to file the returns. If you don't have the information, you can pull it.
I can get 10 years of information.
All the information the IRS has. And
Yeah.
when it comes to deductions, if you don't have your paperwork on your deductions, you can estimate your deductions. Getting the return filed is step one, and believe it or not, it's usually the thing that the people think is the hardest thing to get done because they don't have the paperwork,
Right.
so they don't do it, and it's the easiest thing. Then once it's done, you're then going to get what? Assessed for whatever the taxes are that are owed,
Right.
and then how do you guys solve that problem?
Well, we use our toolbox, and we'll either figure out, depending on the time and the circumstances, sometimes bankruptcy is an eligible tool to eliminate certain types of tax debt that are of a certain age. And then there's a series of tax IRS promoted programs that are offers in compromise, payment plans, not collectible status.
So are you aware of this?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's Brian Small allowed Jeff Linden to mention the remedy for non-payment of taxes can be a discharge in bankruptcy.
I did mention
without
before.
interrupting. This show, how many years have we been doing this show?
A lot.
13? This is the first time in 13 years, times 52 weeks, that has happened.
Miracles do happen.
Are you still doing bankruptcy work?
Absolutely.
The question is, are you all right?
Are you
Yeah,
okay?
I'm feeling okay.
All right. Were you lying in bed with your eyes open, worrying about something last night?
Nope.
Okay.
I slept
So
like
you
a
can
baby.
discharge, the taxes could be discharged in bankruptcy.
Yep.
And if not, you could do what? Offer and compromise?
Offer compromise, payment plans, not collectible status.
If the
there's all sorts
IRS,
of
if the
tools.
IRS files your tax return for you,
Yeah.
can you go back and amend your tax return and do it yourself?
Yes, you can. You should, because again, you're most likely going to lower your base tax debt, which will bring the penalties and interest down as well. You will not be able to use bankruptcy as a tool
Yeah.
for that tax year.
Back
If the
then.
IRS
So-
Because
files your return.
Even if you amend.
the substitute for return that was filed automatically becomes a stopper for
So you
discharging
can't
the
then
tax
amend
debt.
the return and
No.
fix that problem.
The only thing
So
that could
that's a
get you is
reason
if
why-
you end up in tax court and there's a tax court adjudication, then you could discharge the debt.
And it's only for that year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Right.
Is if you sit on your you-know-what and don't get around to filing the returns and they file for you, you're taking off the table one of your best remedies of discharging those taxes in bankruptcy.
And-
that still leaves you with
Other
remedies,
tools, yes.
offer and compromise, payment plans. But a discharge in bankruptcy is a great way to get rid of taxes.
So, at the end of the day here, when you've got a tax problem, the sooner you attack it, the greater the likelihood you're going to have all of the tools in the toolbox available to you to choose from. The longer you wait, the greater the likelihood your options and opportunities are limited.
I want to interject something there though, because if you're in that problem mode and you're watching the show, you're sitting there saying, "Oh, darn, I waited too long. Now
You can never wait too long.
Now I'm messed up."
There's always a solution.
So, and that's not the case. The faster you move, the better. If we haven't gotten substituted for return, which is probably where you are, they haven't filed for you, get in, let's get the returns filed, address the problem. Then you return, and at night when you put your head down on the pillow, your eyes closed and you can sleep.
I equate this to medicine. If you have a lump or a lesion, you
Take
get to
care
the
of it.
doctor right away.
Yeah, you don't sit and wait for the bad outcome.
It just gets worse.
Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.